So seriously, well, there is somebody watching. I don't know. Oh. So so it's Christmas. Okay, my sister arrived. It's Christmas in 2 days technically. So she got, a little later than the flight was late, and I was scrambling to fit everything. It was kind of crazy, but she's here, so it's been like a whirlwind of activity, like so much to do before Christmas, doing a little shopping also. So that's why I was like, I've been completely unable to like do anything, because live in a small place, so it's not as if I have alternative, you know what I mean? And also, co-working places is gonna close between Christmas and New Year, so. But I just want to do a quick video. Yeah. No, seriously, guys. So anyway, so I have a list here of platforms, okay? And also, so I just want to say, guys, I hope you have a good time. If anything, regardless of whether we celebrate holidays or not, just to have the time to kind of regroup. huh, You know what I mean? Like take the turn off from all the things and focus on the things that matter to you, huh? You. So no, really. So so this is the guys, okay? And I know some. I said I was gonna I'm gonna address eventually some of the questions, but I didn't really like get the chance to even. I mean, I'm checking Washington Post and everything, but checking what's going on, okay, but not really. I haven't had really a chance to like really be present, yeah, like in all of it. So, but at the same time, it's interesting to think of other things here, okay? So what was so I just as asking the spirits, and I told my sister like I better bring cards, but as it turns out I did not bring cards. No, I didn't. So here just the quick versions, okay? So what is the message for the group? Okay, let's have some information then. Only from the highest sources. I like to ask before like going to my head. As I breathe in, I feel my lungs are like as I breathe out, I create a circle. I create a circle, I step into it. I step into it, I feel protected. I step into it, I feel connected. I ask that informations come only from the higher sources. To create only the good, and only the good for all the good people. Okay, so what is the message for the group around Christmas and holidays? Time of rebirth, creating the world that you want to see. So saying, so especially at this time, regardless of your religious inclination or type of observance, it's important that you know and you clear eyes know exactly the world you want to see, and that you focus on it. If anything, when you think what is the best way to deal with everything that's going on, is to focus too much on the external. Instead, you should be focusing on through the internal, projecting outward often, because it's almost as if what we see is temporary, and when we don't have complete clarity of the things we want to see and how we create things we want to see, then we get super distracted by, even if we mean well and everything, and that can have a way of lowering our vibrations. Okay, this is myself. So just imagine the kingdom of heaven within. No, true. This is true. It's true. Okay, so how will next Christmas look like? Let's say December 25th, 2020. As far as this, the group, the stuff that we'll think about in the group, how different will it be? I know timing is odd. Of course, we'll have. Oh my God, can you imagine? We'll have had the elections. That's crazy. Oh, so let's go calendar 20, December 25th, 2020. Okay, so kind of interesting here. And as you know, guys, it's not nothing super precise or how or it's it's a little. It's just a general kind of overview view quickly. So first, there's this image of calendars of like calendar sheets. If you have these paper calendars, they give away sometimes in pharmacies at stores. Um, the leaves, different sheets falling with like Trump's image and all that's like over. Um, and uh, and then I see Nancy because Nancy seems to be active, and I'm thinking, who knows how that's gonna. I think it's still possible that she could be organizing the transition because the person whoever wins the government the election is going to get to be right is in January that they get they now inaugurated. So they're doing that. There's a sense of hope. I mean, this is how do I say this sounds I don't know explain it, guys. I really don't want to do any kind of prediction about the the next person. It's still there's so many waters to roll. I do think for some reason that I see her, there could be a woman. She's giving transitioning power to another one. I don't know if it be Elizabeth one. I don't know how. It's still. I mean, honestly, it's hard to say. Okay, what's going to happen next? Like in terms of who's going to be out. But that's the thing. It's the sense I have is that by the time is that Trump really is not in the picture at all, and I think it's like the earlier part of the year. I do think that Trump is likely to go. It's not even, I feel like it's almost as if he was not even part, I mean, he was part of the election probably in terms of like what he has done and all that, but I don't think the re-election is about, like after that, it's not about Trump, you know what I mean? How he makes everything about himself and like his issues or whatever, or like the drama. I see all these leaves falling. Sorry, leaves. Because in Portuguese, the same word. Um, these sheets of paper, the calendar falling. In other words, time changes things. And then I see this transition. And then I see also, there's machines. I'm trying to think like, imagine if like, those, it's not a Russian doll. It's not, no pun intended. Okay. But it's like a little doll. And then there's a machine that chops heads and like has a roll. I was looking at Mitch McConnell's not there. Graham not there. The other guy, Rand Paul, not there. Nunes not there. So I don't know. It's not clear. I feel like there's a lot of people who have had to go down. Okay, and I think and I'm trying to think of the vibe is really trying to give the country hope because I feel like in a weird way after Trump leaves, there's a sense of I don't want to say hopelessness, but shock for. I mean, not that we're not shocked, but it's like, oh really? What? How the whole thing? Oh, it's like giving him space equal spaces and normalizing this whole thing. There's a kind of trauma I think that happens after people realize, oh, we wasted the space with this bullshit. Okay, I do think it's a more time of. I mean, I can't help but think of reconstruction. That is really the vibe here, reconstruction and striving towards messages of hope. Those kinds of things. But it's still people are kind of distraught here, really. Right, in the sense of like, oh, where do we go? Just time of reckoning, rebuilding. Okay. So that is interesting. So how is next Christmas going to be different from this one? First of all, no orange troubles, no orange mail, no. Okay, so what else? Again, time to think of the things you really want to build in this country because things will be different. Because it's saying here that a lot of the numbers and even the numbers about employment and business, it's kind of fake. There's something, either the way they are accounting for it, but or like how they're talking about, there's a sense of illusion. Even like the kind of quote unquote gig economy, the reality of the country is going to hit. You know what I mean? In a good way. I think the stuff exists already like this, but it's almost like forbidden to talk. It's like censored is the word, but it's almost like it's not really like technically censored, but it's almost like there's a way that like some business people are connected to Trump and how they're kind of like covering up. Oh, here, covering up all of these things. Okay, and that is things. I think reality. I think we're going to be in a place of true reality, which will be good. But I think to some it's going to be shock. How could we get to this? Well, because there was like a lot. How do I say this? I think there's. I mean, this is hard to believe, but there's people who, in spite of all the stuff that we see, they still like, oh, I have no idea this was happening. I don't know if they're in denial or they like to pretend that they have nothing to do. You know what I mean? I just feel like even people who, I think people, guys, you know who I see so funny? Megan McCain. Because she, her husband works for this, I think called the Federalists. They say Russians supported, whatever. But it's sort of like, oh, yes. It was just, just like 9 months ago, you were like, had a very different opinion. And then to realize the whole thing goes down the drain, it's not the same. They kind of have moments of truth, okay? So, how do we deal with what's going on in the holiday season? Again, look inward. Create the stuff, the world you want to see inside of yourself, because I think anxiety, it's like pay attention to what creates fear, and then B, create the world you want to see. You know exactly what you stand for, okay? Because it's saying that it could even, in a way, before it gets better, it's going to definitely get, it's going to get as worse as it can possibly get until that actual leaves, okay? Okay, so next I want to talk about my notes here as sending light, embracing light, what to focus on. Okay, so I wanted to, I had this, as I was making notes about doing stuff now, okay, I kept thinking of this, I don't want to say meditation, but just kind of like sense of like visualizing, okay? Even what is going on, when you see, let's say, the things, the outrageous, horrible things that we see going on around the Trump administration. I can think of, for example, Stephen Miller, not just Trump, just Stephen Miller and the intent to harm the children and the immigrants. And I see it, and it's, of course you get angry when you think about it, but if you look at it and project, imagine that there is a kind of really a ray of light coming from your third eye and projecting onto the image you see. And just as you project, you can kind of erase it. So gradually use your own light to erase it, and ask that all things that are not of love, all the things that are not of truth, are erased and released, so that only the things that are made of love and made of truth shall remain. And then until you almost like imagine mentally slowly erasing all this stuff that's going on, so that you could see the reality right behind. Imagine it's like a projection. And as you start to delete it, almost like, if you've seen like using Photoshop or something, like slowly the image gets erased. And as it gets erased, there's only light underneath it, pure light. So as you start to like erase it from here, to the left, to the right, until there's none of it left, and all that exists is pure light. And then you see the world that let's say, for example, we get angry, right? The image of, oh my God, so this guy's disgusting. We're angry at this guy for everything that's going on. Instead, when we erase it, we see the children embracing their families, released, loved, connected to spirit, and all those things. Okay, so it's not to say, again, it's not that we're gonna have to be quote unquote in denial, but you have to see, instead of like allowing yourself to be involved by the negative emotion without action, either you do something about it or you project the thing that you want to happen. Delete it, the present that is very unpleasant. So because, the more you pay attention to it, the more it grows. So it's like, oh my God, those horrible things. No, it's like all this stuff is deleted, is erased. Their horrible goals are weakened to the point where they no longer exist. They disappear into the ether, because light is so all encompassing, that it wraps up everything. Okay, so that's okay, guys. So that's it for now. All right. So I just want to share this quick message. Christmas message. So okay. So like I said, guys, that is my wish for you guys. Okay, for all of us to be in a better world. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of like it's I don't know. It's hard to believe we have survived thus far, but there is so much more to the world. You know, we're going to survive this, and there's going to be better things coming. Okay. All right. So love you guys, and I'll talk to you. I'm probably gonna make another video January 30th. This plan. That's plan. I have plan. I have. I have. I have. Okay. All right. Okay. Bye.